Hi friends, thanks so much for joining me today. So we are on week 4 of my card series that I started a few weeks ago, doing the sketches from the Stampin' Up! Catalog, the new catalog, which went live in May of this year. And I've been using the sketches that you can find on page 22 in the catalog. I know they're a bit small. I'm trying to figure out how I can make them bigger so that I could, so you can see what I'm doing, right? But the important thing is just, if you have the catalog, look at the catalog. It has these sketches on page 22, but throughout the catalog, you can find so much more inspiration on what cards, what card design to use. I mean, even the page next to it shows the color family coordination, but you've also got some nice sketches here that you could use, and you can change them up to what suits you. So as I mentioned, we're going to be doing, let's see, it's number 4, so it's this one right here. And I did a sample already. This is a wedding card. Actually, the one we're going to be doing today will also be a wedding card. But I did this in the vertical orientation, just like the catalog shows. The one that we're going to be doing together, I'm going to do horizontally. And the great thing about this is that the measurements for the card base and for the strips are all the same. Nothing changes, just the orientation. So when you're making cards, keep that in mind. It's just as easy to switch a card from portrait to horizontal. Just make sure if you're using designer series paper that if it is directional, you don't want it going, the wrong direction. So I don't know if you can see, but these branches on this piece here are going vertical. So you definitely don't want those branches going sideways. That looks kind of funny, right? So, all right, so let's see, what are we using today? So I am using the Lifetime of Love. Since it's a wedding card, I'm going to use Congratulations on Your Wedding Day. I really love this stamp set. It's so pretty. You can also use it for anniversaries. The inside sentiment will be wishing you a lifetime of love and happiness. And the dies that I'm using the scalloped oval, and this comes from the Unbounded Love stamp and die sets. And there's only a few days left to take advantage of the 10% offer that Stampin' Up! Has going on this month. It's 10% off additional. So you know how like the dies and stamps are 10% off when you bundle them? When you purchase them now through June 30th, you'll be able to get an additional 10% off. So it's not really 20%, but it kind of works out to like 19%-ish around there. So it's pretty good though. It's a great deal though. And so you'll definitely want to take advantage of that. And it's any stamp and dies that are available currently. It does not include the suites though, or the punches. It's only stamps and dies. The other thing that's on sale for an additional 10% off is the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, either the mini one or the large one. So if you need a new one, if you've been looking at the Stampin' Up! One, but you're like, oh, it's a little expensive, now's the time to get it for 10% off. During the month of June, if you do place an order with me, I will send you a handmade card along with an email containing 10 PDF written tutorials for cards that you've never seen before. I belong to a team of ladies of other card makers, and we collaborate and make these beautiful cards, and then we share them with each other, and then we could share them with our teams and with our customers. So for a $40 plus before shipping and handling order, I will send that to you by email. And then the handmade card, of course, you'll get it by mail. Okay? All right. Then lastly, I'm using the Fun Patterns Embossing folder, and this will work in the mini. It comes with 2 different folders. We have the diamonds, and then this is more of like a daisy one. I don't know if you could see that. So I'm using the diamond. Oops, and I put the wrong one away. See that? And the DSP that I'm using is the Nature Sweetness, which was in the, I think it was in the mini catalog. And it was carried over to this year, so it's still available if you'd like to order it. I have not used very much of it. I'm gonna be honest, not because I don't like it, I love it, but I've been hoarding it. So I thought this was the perfect opportunity to use it to make these wedding cards. So one side you'll notice has gold going through it. It's shiny, see that gold? Okay, and then the other side is a matte side. So really pretty. And this coordinates with the stamp and die set, which I think I have that one. But this is called the Nature Sweetness. And I might have the dies, but I think the dies might have retired. Let's see. Okay, so my card base is standard 8.5 by 11, scored at 4 1/4. We're going to do this horizontally. I'm going to leave it here horizontal so I don't forget, because I have a tendency to, you know, start working and then I'm like going on, and there I go. I forgot I was going to do a horizontal card. So we're going to leave that like that. So you'll notice this piece that I use. This is actually the piece that I used on my first card. But what we're going to do is I'm going to flip it over and use the other side, because this is non-directional. So the piece that I need is, I think this is 4.5 inches. Let me just quickly measure that. So that's 4.5. So each strip is 1 inch by 4.5 inches. My card base, you know, is 5.5 by 8.5. And then I have a layering piece, which is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So we're going to cut this down to 4.5 inches. Okay, and then I'm going to cut it in half to 1 inch, because this piece is 2 inches right now, so we just need 1 inch. Okay, set those aside for just a second, if I can pick it up. And then I have a piece of pecan pie, which I'm going to cut down to the same 4.5 inches, and it's already cut at 1 inch. This was just a scrap. And let's scrap again. Put that there. And then I also have the scallop that I've already die cut. So we're going to be stamping on that one. And let me get my mini embossing machine. Let's see. Is this a 3D folder? Just quickly check that. I don't remember. It's just a regular folder. So what do we need? So die cutting, this pen here, and then this. Looks like I need to clean that. I didn't clean that off last time I used it. Got little fragments. I don't want those on my card right now. Okay. So let's see. We're gonna get this piece in our embossing folder. Oh, if I can get it open. Okay, so I'm going to place this probably about there. I'm trying to center it. It's kind of hard to center it, but we'll do the best we can. So I'm going to like it. I'll put that down. Check it on the other side. And I want to come down towards me just a little. Okay, and then so I have plate number 1, plate number 2, embossing folder, and again you need to offset these so that they will grab in the machine. Let's try this out. Maybe I don't need this first one plate. You know, I don't use the mini very much. I think that's too narrow. Is there another one? Let's see, what is this piece here? Oh, okay. So there's a special one for the embossing folder. I need this one here. So, all right, so we need plate number 1, our embossing folder. And then on this one, you need plate number 3, which is a little bit thicker than plate number 4. So this number 4 is the one that you use for your 3D embossing folders. This is the regular embossing folder. Okay, we'll put that through. Oh, much better. Much, much better. Okay. And let's see what we have. And there you go, your embossed piece. Very nice. Okay, so let's do, what else do we need? We can start stamping, I think, so let's do that. I'm going to open this up and stamp the inside sentiment first, and I'm going to use pecan pie. We'll say, wishing you a lifetime of love and happiness. I'll put that right in the center or thereabouts. Okay, and then while I have the ink out, oh, look at that, I have to emboss again because I embossed the wrong piece. This one's that I embossed the what am I trying to say? Just gonna clean this quickly. The scrap piece is what I embossed. I don't need that embossed, so we're gonna get that out again. Okay, let's just do this since we're up to stamping. Congratulations on your wedding day. I'm going to stamp this just a little bit lower because I want to stamp the leaf image and then color that in with the my pencils, my watercolor pencils. Okay, so I've got that. And I'm using basic beige to stamp my leaf image, which also comes from Lifetime of Love. I'm just going to put that right here, and it's going to overlap congratulations a little bit, but that's okay. I like the softness of that. And then we will color that, let that dry for a second. So while that's drying, I'm just going to clean off my stamp. And we'll bring our embossing machine out again and emboss the right piece. Again, let it sit for a second so it can dry. All right, let's try that again. It did look a little bit short when I had it in here, but it didn't dawn on me that that could possibly be the wrong piece. Right? Because, why would I make a mistake like that? But that's okay. It happens. Mistakes happen, but they're really not mistakes, right? I mean, because I'm sure I could use that piece on another card and it's already done. That's better. Okay, now it looks normal. All right, so let us adhere these pieces onto the card base. And I'm leaving about, I don't know, I would say maybe that's ½ an inch from each side, and then ½ an inch from the top and bottom would be my guesstimate. probably won't be perfect, and nobody's going to come along with the ruler to measure it, so we're okay. All right, so I'm going to leave those two there. I'm going to adhere the embossed piece first, and this is giving ample time. Make sure I'm using the right side. This is going to give ample time to the stamped image to dry more. Not that it really takes that long to dry, it's just, you know, I'm sure it's fine. But just to be safe, because I am using the watercolor pencils, and then I'll be using the blender pen, which has, I believe there's glycerin in that. I would hate to smudge the ink. And all I needed to do was wait a little longer. All right, so I think that's good. All right, we'll press that down, and then we'll put the top and bottom pieces up. And this might need a second more to dry because it is gold. So, you know, gold tends to be like slippery when wet. So we'll just press that gently and do the other one. So I'd love to know if you've been following along and making these cards along with me, following the directions. And if you need measurements, exact measurements, you can certainly send me an email or leave me a message in the chat on YouTube, and I'll read it and then respond to you. All right, so before we adhere this, and I'm going to put dimensionals on that, let's start coloring with our pencil. Okay, so I'm going to use Old Olive, and I store my watercolor pencils in a stamp case, and I have both sets in here, and works perfectly for me. All right, so we're just going to color these in, and I'm using a gentle touch. I don't want this to be very dark, so I'm just kind of very lightly coloring the leaves in, and then I'll use the blender pen just to soften it up a bit more. So again, very lightly, and I'm not coloring the whole leaf in, just a little bit, because the blender pen will do most of the work for me. Okay, and then the blender pen comes like this. It's got two sides. Now you notice that there's a lot of pink on this. I use this with red, but it doesn't. Let me get a piece of scrap paper. I will show you that there's no pink that comes off of that. Just grabbing scrap paper. It's stuck to everything. So see, there's no pink coloration, right? So we're okay. All right, so let me go in here now and just color in the leaves, just so that we could blend it out a bit. Hence the name Blender Pen. And do this one a little bit. I think I got them all. Yes, okay, good. So that was very easy. All right, now let's get some linen thread. Actually, this is called baker's twine, and it comes in a pack of 5. I have more than 5 in here. There's 6 in here. I actually have a green in here, but it comes in the just essential colors. Like this one here is crumb cake. Then we have basic gray, basic black, and very vanilla. And then there should be a white, but I don't have that in here. So one of these actually don't belong in here because there's 5, right? Or is there 6? Oh, you know what? There might be 7 in here because they're 35 yards. So each one is 7 yards. So maybe there's 7 in here? I don't know. I'm always sticking extra stuff in there, so who knows. All right, so I'm just gonna double this up. And we'll go from the back, right? I think we want to go from the back. And I'll use a glue dot to secure the front. The back is going to be secured to the card, so I'm not worried about that. And we'll just pull that to secure it, and we'll fix that in just a minute. All right, let me get my scissors. We can trim this a bit. There should be good. Okay. All right, now we can add our dimensionals to the back of this. And just spread this out a bit. So, and do the same thing on this side here. Okay, and then we'll put this right about there. Okay, so let's do that first. And I'm going to stay away from that center part, so I'm going to do 3 on each side, top and bottom. 2, you can probably get away with just 2, but do 3. Okay, and we'll add them to the back, and our card will be done. Okay. And I'm just looking to center this. There's going to be a small border all around. Then we will bring our neutrals adhesive back sequins, and I'm going to use the darker one. It just looks like it's pecan pie to me. Pecan pie with a little bit of sparkle. Okay, and then we'll put one about there, right? And then we'll put another one down here, I think. All right, there you go. So see how easy it is just to take that one sketch that was done vertically, and then you just, just spin the paper around, and then you'll make it horizontal. So let me know what you think about this. If you enjoyed doing these cards, I hope that you're doing them along with me. Maybe not on the same day, but get your supplies together and make the card. Friends, if you have any questions about anything I showed you, and if you'd like to shop with me, I'd love to have you as my customer. My website information is found in the details below the video. You can shop there 24/7. Remember, the sale ends on June 30th. It's the last day that you can place your order. And for a $40 plus order, I will send you a free handmade card by me, plus that 10 PDF tutorials in your email box. Friends, thanks again for joining me. Let me know what you think about this video by giving me a thumbs up and leaving a comment and sharing it with your other crafty friends. Have a great day. Bye-bye.